if your question
impossible
should be
to
what's
be
wrong
even
with
out of your
Singapore.
parents'
I
house
think
like
your
that.
question should be what's wrong with Singaporeans.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the AXA report again, and this time they look at dangerous driving. Which unsafe driving practices do they view as the most dangerous? Does the insurance company view as the most dangerous? 88% driving after having more than the recommended alcohol intake. 84% using the phone without a hands-free or texting while driving. 81% tailgating, and these are all very large percentages. 79% not giving way to oncoming vehicles while turning, and 75% overtaking, turning or switching lanes without signaling. So even though they may have been given the instruction in school, the insurance company finds that the cause of accidents through dangerous driving is a very high percentage that results from actually inconsiderate driving. Is Morag correct? Is Kirsten wrong?
I'm a little disturbed that Faisal says they teach them to pass the test. You should teach them to read the road. And that, I think, is a difference between how you're taught in the UK to drive. Part of the UK driving test involves a simulated traffic situation, and you have to indicate the moment you see an obstruction, a hazard or whatever. And I think that's the thing that Singaporean drivers are particularly bad at. So you've got your 3 lanes, and on the big sign that says, kind of 100 metres ahead, traffic works, lane closed. And you will see it every time. You'll get the car driving right up to the obstruction. Oh my goodness, there's an obstruction. I'm going to force myself into the next lane.
Without signaling,
and it
without
happens
waiting.
all the time. But to me, even signalling, you've had 100 metres to get yourself into the next lane. Why did you not do it? Why did you not see? Why do you not understand?
Shall we take an organized look at the 10 worst habits that people observe about? The 10 worst habits are using the mobile phone while driving, speeding up when somebody signals they want to overtake, weaving in and out of traffic without signaling, straddling in the middle of 2 lanes, changing lanes without signaling, cutting queue on the expressway, waiting too long to change lanes, tailgating, hogging the right lane on the expressway, and not giving way to motorcyclists. In a police report in 2012, the police reported that there were 243 cases of reckless driving. Now this is a 50% jump from the 163 cases in 2011. On speeding, the number of speeding offences in the first 6 months of 2013 has increased from 109,960 to 129,578. This is an 18% increase compared to the same period the year before. And there are now about 900 traffic offences committed every day. Now this is worrying. This is a change in the behaviour of our motorists for the worst. We need to look at why this is so, why is this happening, and why is this happening more dramatically in recent years. Any ideas?
I mean, personally, I feel one reason is over the last 5 to 7 years, the car population has exploded. I mean, partly due to the low COEs in the times of 2005, 2007, that period when it was $2 COE, it went down to that low. So people were going all out buying cars, everything, and we hit like 1 million vehicles on the road or something. So we've increased vehicles, but not enough road growth to match the growth of the car vehicle population. When you have more cars, you tend to get more frustrated. It tend to bring out worse behaviour in people.
But I mean, Singapore, it's not really a congested city. We all say it's congested, but if you've been to London, Glasgow, or
The Philippines.
It's not congested. They have many more vehicles, many more drivers, and you don't see the kind of behaviour that you see here.
You mean they're very courteous in the UK?
They're fantastic drivers. It's the one thing that Britain can truly be proud of. In fact, I am caught in a situation where, as a pedestrian, say, a car will actually stop for you to cross the road because they realise, like, the traffic light is red, I'm not going anywhere, I don't need to push up, this person wants to cross the road, I'll stop and let them go. I mean,
That happens in the...
it never happens here. On the motorway, You're told you move out into the second lane when cars are coming on so that they can access the road.
Are there consequences if they're discourteous in the UK?
No, there are none.
This is voluntary.
This is absolutely voluntary. This is what you're taught. There's a situation coming, you have to watch that pedestrian, maybe they're going to jump out in the road, slow down.
We are still talking about the behaviour, the bad behaviour.
No, but
I'd
do they
like to examine
understand?
why. Why are they doing this? Now, Cheryl has said that it's because the roads are getting more congested, and therefore if you have too many crowded areas, then the behavior becomes more aggressive. Is that the reason? Is that the only reason why? Is it because of the road congestion, or are there other factors influencing the behavior of drivers? Why don't they respect the pedestrian and the bicyclist?
And that flow, at least what I've seen the last 5 or 6 years, has been totally disrupted by the MRT construction. People may feel frustrated, they feel shorter, they've used to take them 15 minutes, now it takes them 20, whatever it is, but the system
Sorry,
is
you're saying
disrupted.
that the MRT has slowed down the traffic?
The building of,
Oh, the
of
road
stations.
works, the road, not the MRT, the road works for the
Absolutely.
MRT.
Yes,
okay.
I was coming
It's a
down
temporary
here,
thing.
and no,
Okay.
it's not temporary. It's been temporary for what, the last 5 or 6 years
Different
now?
places in Singapore.
Sorry?
There's different places in Singapore the road works, right?
That's
Except
right.
Bukit Timah.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
all over. And if it's not roadworks, then it's construction, or it's tree pruning, or it's resurfacing a road.
All improvement.
Although to be fair, those are the things you need to do to keep the roads clean and, clearly marked. One of the things that I found hardest when I started driving in the UK was that the road markings are impossible to see. Here we're so lucky there are lights on every inch of our country.
We're very lucky.
And as you were saying about the UK, are there disincentives? The reality is that the UK is huge compared to Singapore, and you can't have speed cameras all over it. You can't have people policing every inch of it. And yet here, where we have so many, it doesn't make sense that we've got more accidents and more incidents of dangerous driving.
Do
Surely
we have
should
more
all get caught.
accidents, or
I don't
what
know.
are the
I wanted to ask about those
statistics?
numbers.
Yeah.
Are they normalized? So we've had an increase in number of traffic violations, but on a
Or is that
per
taking into
thousand
account
vehicle.
the fact we have more cars?
Right.
But I've got actually a bit of information that is quite alarming, and this is on road rage. Okay, and if you talk of discourteous behavior, I think that we are actually spilling over into even more aggressive behavior. Today, one road rage attack occurs every 4 days in Singapore.
If you think that Singaporeans aren't dangerous drivers, then why are there so many fatal accidents in such a small country? Yeah. In fact, when I got back this holiday, I was surprised. We've seen 2 already today. It's not like we've been driving around all over Singapore, And when I first came back, I was surprised that there were so many accidents, and you hear about so many horrible ones.
But still, we are still talking about the behavior. I want to know the cause. Apart from congestion, which causes people to be more aggressive, is that the only reason why we are behaving in this way? Yes, we have already established that there's a lot of bad behavior, but once you know the cause, maybe you can find the remedy.
I see the same problem also. But the thing is, why humans or people behave that way while they're driving? Probably because I feel that they're always on a rush. They're always rushing.
Can I ask you, do you think they feel entitled if they pay so much for a car?
That's my stand.
Well,
No, but-
when we talk about sports cars and all that, right? Whatever cars that you're driving, you're not allowed to
Or
exceed
big
the speed
BMWs,
limit. So
right?
that's no purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
You drive a very big cars and
I
you
get
have
the
to
right
follow
of
the
way
speed limit.
because I
So
paid
it's
more.
it shouldn't be that way. You see, regardless of what car you're driving, you should obey the speed limit. You see. But of course, there are proper places to let off your steam. Maybe in a racing circuit,
Which we
whatsoever.
don't have.
Yeah, that's
I
what my
don't
friends
think
normally
cars-
go. They will go across the causeway to
Sepang
let
or
go the
something.
Sepang or Pasir Gudang, But over here, the reason why we are behaving like that because we are always rushing.
I think
we
the stress level.
we don't manage our time properly when we are traveling, and we never have any extra allowance of unexpected delays when you're on the road. For example, what you said is correct. There's always construction going on, and sometimes accident, plant pruning, and whatsoever. So you must have time allowance for all that. So you cannot be planning your journey exact time, estimated time. You must always have allowance. So when you have time allowance, you will not rush. You will not rush when you are driving.